Please welcome Miss Mall.
Welcome, graduates, families, students, and staff, to Winterberry's 2016 8th grade graduation. Today we've come together to celebrate the accomplishments of our 8th grade students. Their paths are unique, and fortunately for us, they and their families have all crossed Winterberry's doorstep. Many of these delightful people have been here since kindergarten. In fact, when I close my eyes, I can even remember their tiny bodies entering the door of our downtown site, eyes wide open, curious about the adventure that was just starting. This morning, as I shook their hands and many of your hands for the last time, I was struck and continue to be awed by the confidence and strength that met me. Welcomed into academics by Miss Eggleston and then carried by Mr. Crawford from grades 6 to 8, I am delighted to say that they made it. This group of once small and precious kindergartners who were at one time so in need of protection are now ready to walk forward from this stage into high school and beyond. We did it all together. Students, families, teachers, staff. It's been an amazing picture of what can happen when a community comes together to support what is dear and essential. Now, graduates, you're on the verge of a new adventure. One that will include so many new experiences. Some will be good, some not so good. But so many of them will be fantastically wonderful. As you depart from Winterberry, dear graduates, I hope you will remember the words of this poem that is dear to me and that we shared as we sat in the back country together. The Invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow. If you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain, I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or yours, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingertips and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember limitations of the human being. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of a lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes. It doesn't matter or doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you've studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I don't want to know, or I want to know, I do want to know, if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. Dear graduates, I have known you for years, but recently had the honor of spending many uninterrupted days with you on your 8th grade trip. Jack Anderson, you are a wise and caring soul. Skylin, a young man with a rich capacity for self-reflection and acceptance. Henry, strong, honest, and a trustworthy friend. Talia, unsure still, aren't we all on some level, but capable of letting go and being yourself. Bia, strong, full of life and laughter, your presence assures me. Val, equally strong, you are solid and grounded, and we rocked the food group, right? Takori, steadfast, you were always present on some level, regardless of whether or not you were around, solid. Adrian, brave, true, light source, remember, you're only human. Ethan, a silent knight. Lena, strong, open, willing to share your rawness. Nick, caretaker, strong, open to shepherd those who struggle. Sela, yes, you are beyond your years, you're strong, but definitely in need of space and freedom. Tyler, always watching, ready to laugh, steadfast friend, loyal. Sadie, beautiful, more steady and solid than you feel, a true friend. Eden, back again, FYI, we missed you. You're solid and full of love. Ty, you're my little puck. You're full of mischief and laughter and light. Zane, steady deepness that has been guarded. You are one of a kind. Audrey, you're certain, clear, without regret, strong and solid. Carlita, you're a mystery. You're full of energy. You love cats. Ethan, you're strong. Ethan Pickett, you're strong, quiet, humorous, and a pretty decent co-pilot on the way from Sacramento. Evan, you're layered. You're quiet. You're stoic, as long as I'm watching, that is. You're full of richness. Lily, brave, giving, energetic, confident, and inspiration. Taylor, difficult to read, yet ultimately steadfast, always open, always funny. Sebastian, strong, you do have stamina, full of humor. We need to get together and plan for Everest, our Everest ascent in 2018. We were hiking buddies. And then Jackson finally, courageous, strong, full of love and light for all those fortunate to live within your sphere of influence. Thank you. Thank you for being with us and changing our lives for the better. Congratulations, class of 2016.
Thank you, Ms. Mall. I think the graduates have something to say. Starting with Nick.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Jablonski, and on behalf of our class, I would like to thank Megan and Eric Judge for contributing so much to the school and all your work you've done on the staff and board. Personally, I would like to thank my parents for supporting me all through school. I've been at Winterberry since kindergarten, and over the years I have learned many things. But one of the most important things I have learned is to have fun, whatever you're doing. And it will show in your work no matter what you're doing. So enjoy yourself next time you're making yourself main lesson page or essay, because when you're having fun, it will show in your work. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, I'm Henry Banker, and I have been a part of this amazing class since kindergarten. I missed second grade, but I came back. I'm really glad I came back. Now I look back, I'm thankful for everything I have learned, and especially the fun we had together. I'm grateful for the friendships that have never wavered, and grateful for the friendships that have been up and down. I've learned that both are special. Someone said that the 8th grade trip was supposed to make it easy to say goodbye. For me, it just made me want to spend more time with all of the people in my class. I look forward for more adventures with all of you in the years to come. And on the behalf of my class, I'd like to thank Miss Douglas for being such an awesome ski coach and helping with handwork. And I'd like to personally thank my parents.
Hello, my name is Lena, and on behalf of the Winterberry class of 2016, I'd like to thank Maestra Baker for being our Spanish teacher. Gracias para hablamos español con nosotros. Tú abre una puerta de lengua. Tú eres fantástico. Thank you for speaking Spanish with us. You have opened a door to a world of language. You're fantastic. I want to begin by saying thank you to my parents for going out of their way to get me here. Also, I want to thank the class because when I first came to Winterberry, I had no idea what to expect. What if the other kids didn't like me? What if the teachers were awful? I was afraid of being an outcast since I was not with the class since first grade. But it turned out I was embraced by the others and at once felt at home with their bright smiles and warm laughs. I started really trusting them and learned a lot about myself around the end of 7th grade. At the start of 8th grade, my classmates started becoming more than just classmates. They were my family, which, if this makes any sense, is probably why I always yell at them. On the 8th grade trip, these bonds became stronger, and even those who I did not see eye to eye with became easier for me to agree with, which is not easy because I have very strong opinions. I have a hope for all of you that you will continue to be the amazing people who saw me and accepted me for who I am. I'll never forget you and the huge parts you played in my life. Goodbye, Winterberry. Hello, East.
Hi, how's it going? I want to start by saying I'm a little cold, so my voice is a little messed up. But hi, my name's Zane Penny. I've been here since kindergarten, and over the years I've had a lot of experiences. So I've decided to share some things I remember from each grade. All right, so kindergarten. I don't really remember anything from kindergarten, but I do remember eating one day at the little table set up with Ethan G. And he had brought goldfish. Now goldfish is like a form of currency in kindergarten. So I remember going over to the table, sitting next to him, and every time he would move his hand up to his mouth to eat them, I would grab the goldfish out of his mouth and eat it super fast. Which created a lifelong inside joke. I don't really remember anything in first grade except staring at the clock and waiting for Russian to be over so I could go to recess. No offense, Mr. Harmon, who was the Russian teacher at the time. In second grade, nothing really happened that I remember. Third grade was the first time I saw Mr. V. As soon as he walked into our classroom, I was super surprised. When I imagined him, I thought of a PE teacher whose neck is the same width as his head, so he looked like a worm. But to my surprise, a skinny, goofy-looking man with a huge grin walked in and started teaching us songs. Now, 4th grade was probably the most embarrassing yet fun year of my life. Joseph, one of my friends, had a very smart idea. He slammed his Go-Gurt onto his desk, and it exploded all over me. Later that year, I wore a dress in our school play, so that happened. 5th grade, I got banned from touching sticks. 6th grade, Evan wore a leather jacket every day because he loved Fonzie. In 7th grade, Mr. Crawford had an obsession with levers. And finally, in 8th grade, I awkwardly presented a graduation speech. Since my speech is over, I'd like to say a couple thank yous. Well, just one. First of all, that's the first one. Miss Eggleston, on behalf of the whole class, thank you for being an amazing and also awesome teacher.
Hi, I'm Taylor Stedman. When we first had the lineup for our speeches, Zane was behind me, and he came to me because he was worried that he was going to give the silly speech right after everyone was crying about my speech. So he got moved in front of me and was like, great, that gets rid of that problem. And then Ty came to me, because now he's after me, with the exact same question. So on the 8th grade trip one evening while camping, Valerie started a kind of little rhyming game that all the girls ended up messing around with, and I decided to write it down, and this is the poem we got. The title is Dare, and it's dedicated to Valerie Broody. My hair is like a bear, it's so fair, it's here and there, and I know that you care that I wear it with flair. I would like to give to you a pair from my mare who got caught in a snare and had a scare. I could not bear to lose my hair because I don't have a spare. Your hair will never compare to my here and there, flare, bare hair, so beware. So even though this poem is really silly and kind of a joke, I want to compare it a little bit to our class. So I didn't create this poem, I simply organized all of the sentences and wrote it down. All the girls helped contribute with rhyme, sentences, and ideas. Our class is full of unique individuals giving original offerings to the group, with Mr. Crawford binding us together and helping us grow. Together we create lasting memories, things, and people of joy and value. I only just came in 6th grade, but I feel as if I've been here in this class my entire life. I think I'm ready for the next stage of my life, but I will always be influenced and edified by my experience here. One of my favorite quotes is, "Throw kindness around like confetti." Since joining this class, I have received enough metaphorical confetti to throw everyone here 10 surprise birthday parties. I want to thank a lot of people, but especially my parents who supported me and helped me through all my life, and Miss Britton for being a wonderful nature walk leader, even though she isn't here to hear it, and the 1st grade for being such wonderful buddies. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ty Morse, and I just have a little bit of a story, I guess you could call it, about basically the first day that I came in to Winterberry. So, when I came to Winterberry, I was in kindergarten. I didn't know what to expect because I had already been in 2 different schools, and they had both been very different. I, however, only spent 2 weeks in kindergarten because I was like 6 or 7, I think I was 7. Anyway, then I got moved up to 1st grade, the class I'm in now. Sorry, I just lost my place. I thought that 1st grade was way better than kindergarten, and that my class was the best that I could have hoped for. Miss Eggleston was our teacher at that time, and I thought she was great for our class. She helped us accomplish lots of tasks that she put out for us, but I was happy when Mr. Crawford got put and for us for 6th grade because he basically gave me a fresh start. And by the end of this 6th grade, we had gone through a lot as a class, and for the first time, I felt at home going to school each day. And it wasn't just another thing that I had to do. It remained this way until now, so thank you guys so much for being an awesome class, and thank you, Mr. Crawford, and my parents for being such great teachers. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ethan Gonzalez, and I made a poem that I'd like to read, and it's called I Leave Today. I leave today knowing I could never learn this way again. I leave today knowing that no one could follow beside me. I leave today knowing that I could no longer stay behind. I leave today scared of whatever may lie ahead. I leave today proud of how far I've managed to come. I leave today knowing that I must pick my own path. I leave today knowing of what I must leave behind. I leave today ready to delve into tomorrow. And I'd like to bring back the memory of one of our old kindergarten teachers called Miss Jenny. And I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me all these years. So.
Okay, I really don't like microphones, so. Hey, my name is Talia Barnes, and on behalf of the class, I'd like to thank Miss Lisa for giving us the lovely notes that we enjoyed, that brightened our day. And I would also like to thank my parents for always being there for me whenever I had to go through something I didn't like. They always cheered me up. First I switched schools in 6th grade from Anchorage Waldorf School, and I remember walking into Winterberry with the big red doors and the colorful building. I'd driven past it so many times, but I'd never been inside it. I was very nervous, but when I shook Miss Mull's hand and saw her beautiful smile, it made me much less nervous. I walked up the stairs passing people I knew and people I had no idea who they were. I walked into the 6th grade classroom, seeing my new classmates. Some of them came up and told me their names many, many times, and others I didn't learn their names until a couple days later. And I saw the face of my amazing teacher, who taught me the art of straight lines. And my class welcomed me with the love a class shares. When I left that day, I knew they were my new family, and I would always love and remember them. I just want to thank them for letting me join them, the love that they all share, and not being someone other than that.
Hello, my name is Jack. Well, first off, I'd like to thank Miss Lois for being an amazing art teacher. She's helped me develop all my skills really everywhere in art. I've never been very good, but now I love charcoal drawing, so thanks her. So I would also like to give a special thanks to my mom and dad. They've really always been there, and they're my inspiration to better myself as a person and a student. So I really couldn't read up until about 4th grade. I can't really say why, it just never clicked with me. But that was until I met Mrs. King. We began to work on reading in about 4th grade, and although I was learning a lot, I didn't learn it overnight. It took not 3 months, not 5 months, not even 9 months, but an entire year. But I can honestly say it was one of the best experiences of my life. After being at Winterberry for 9 years, I've had many experiences. From funny stories and best friends to sad stories and friends leaving. But if there's one thing I've realized, it's that our class has always been together. And we really have an unbreakableness. Or in other words, a feeling that we always have each other's back. This is one thing I think I'll miss dearly in high school, because it's just, you kind of have to fight for your own. So I thank my class for that. You've given me a feeling of security for these 9 years I've been here, and I think that's really helped me progress through all the grades. So thank you all. And I hope to see you in the future.
So I first came to Winterberry in 5th grade, and I came from Georgia, so everything was really cold. And but I was very, very welcomed in this class, and they made me feel really at home. So I thought, since we're graduating, I would share stories that I remember from previous graduations. In 5th grade graduation, I remember being incredibly bored and just sitting there wanting to take a nap. I'm like, this will never be me, I'll never be standing up here. But next year, I came prepared and I brought a notebook. And so in this notebook, I draw a little flower. Then I had what in my mind was a really good idea. I would draw all the boys in my class as girls. So soon, I had a lot of my friends join in, and we had all the boys in the class drawn as girls or princesses. In 7th grade, unfortunately, we were supposed to pay attention, so I couldn't bring a notebook. They're like, it's gonna be you next year. It's like, it's a year. So, but now I'm here, and I would like to thank my parents for driving me to school every day. And I would also like to thank the 1st graders for being amazing buddies and being super fun to hang around.
How y'all doing? My name's Jackson Williams, and Winterberry is my 4th school. And I started out at Anchorage Montessori, and I was there from preschool through 1st grade. And after that, I moved to Baxter Elementary when I found out that I had dyslexia. I had a very hard time at Baxter, so next year I would move to Anchorage Waldorf. And I was there for 5.5 years, and I really did not like it. I mean, now I don't like it. I liked it then for like 2 years, and then I realized what I was really doing. And at the beginning of 6th grade, there were only 9 people in our class, and only 2 of those people were guys. And the other guy was, he was, I didn't like him very much. But when I came to Winterberry, I felt right at home when I saw Miss Mall's face and Mr. Crawford's face. And it was even better when I saw my best friend, Ethan P., who was also in 5th grade with me at the other school. In 7th grade, I didn't really try to connect with anyone that was out of my friend zone, which was only like 3 people. And it didn't feel that great. But in 8th grade, I really went out on a limb, and now I'm friends with almost everyone in the class, including Talia, which is a little ironic because at Anchorage Waldorf, we completely hated each other. I know that high school will be way different from this school, and I know that high school will be way different than any school that I've gone to before, but I'm glad I came to Winterberry for this experience, and I definitely like to thank my parents for dealing with me through the years of being a little brat and being there even if I didn't want them to be. And on the behalf of the class, I'd like to thank Coach Bob for being there for us and being a great coach for these amazing athletes. And I'd also like to thank Zach Stryken for being there and helping me in every way possible. Thank you very much.
gonna sit down here. Okay, see. Hello, my name is Valerie, also known as Val and occasionally Bia. I have learned that you cannot really get away without saying thank you in a graduation speech. So I would like to say thank you to my beloved parents and their excellent support. And on behalf of my lovely class, I would like to say thank you to the very helpful and enthusiastic Lynn and everything she has done for us, which is an incredible amount. She was here. To start off my talking, I would like to express that today is my very last day to be known as a Winterberry student. This is big because throughout all of my schooling, I've only known Winterberry. I've never experienced a public school, and I have only heard about it. And every time I do, I thank the human beings who put me in Winterberry, because these unfortunate souls, in my view, most of the time they only get to use graphite pencils for everything. But here, you get to use color pencils every day. It's okay. Even in 8th grade, I did a lot of coloring. And I did a lot of this, and so much of it, I got bored of it, which is a rarity. Though it is true, next year I am going into high school as a freshman, other known as fresh meat, from what I've heard. Which is exciting, but most definitely freaky. I am so very thankful of Winterberry because without it, I would be someone completely different. And to me, I feel that it would not be in a good way. I don't have the full facts of how this would be, but it's there, the feeling. But I do have a theory, which is ever since I was a youngster in kindergarten, I was a shy sort. I never really expressed my feelings or wants, and you know, it built up and I became angry with myself. But I didn't show it, of course. But slowly, Winterberry, in its ways of helping people, my class mostly, helped me let it all out, and I became comfortable and happy in myself. And it didn't matter what other people thought because I was me. So if I never had been a part of Winterberry, I believe I would be someone else, someone I wouldn't recognize, and that's not a good feeling. So thank you, Winterberry, and now I'm ready to say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Ethan Pickett, and I'd like to start out with a thank you on behalf of the class for Miss Colleen for her tremendous effort and fun attitude that spread out through the entire school. And I would also like to thank my parents and my grandma for probably wouldn't have been here without you. And I would like to, okay, so talking now. I started school at Turnagain Elementary, and I wasn't doing too well, so I changed schools at 5th grade to Anchorage Waldorf, and I really liked it, except for there were only 14 kids and 5 guys, so it wasn't a whole lot of people. But in 6th grade, I ended up going to Winterberry, and I loved it. It was a fabulous experience. But I really didn't open up until halfway through 6th grade when my best friend Jackson, he came, and then it was just smooth sailing from there. And one memory I have was during the 8th grade trip. I joined halfway through because I had a trip that interfered. But right when I got there, after about 6 hours of travel time, they wanted me to climb this 60-foot high pole and jump off of it. But of course I had to try it, and it turned out to be really fun. And that is only one of many fun and exciting experiences I have with this class, and I will miss them very much.
Hi, I'm Beatrice. First, on behalf of our class, we would like to thank the founders of the school, Melissa Janigo, Aaron Fleischer, Maria Pilifant, and Nancy Simpson-Martin. Thank you for cultivating a school that we will forever love and cherish. I'd also like to thank my parents for everything they do for me, so thank you. I've been at Winterberry I've been very fortunate to be at Winterberry for 9 years now. Since kindergarten to 8th grade, I've been taught and educated inside Winterberry's welcoming walls. I've seen the very start of this school, but now I must leave it far before it's finished. Winterberry, with its incredible teachers and bonding community, created a place for me to comfortably grow and change into the person I am today. A person ready to embark onto a new journey. I hope this speech is not goodbye forever. I will miss this place and all of its people, especially my classmates. You are my family now, and I will never forget a single one of you. Thank you.
First, on behalf of my class, even though he's not here, I'd like to give a special thanks to Mr. Anderson for being an awesome movement teacher and substitute. So, coming to Winterberry was one of the biggest transitions of my life. I was coming from a school of 50 to a school of 200. Even though it was one of the smallest schools in Anchorage, it still felt loud and crowded. I can't imagine what West is going to be like. One of my first memories in Winterberry was playing the recorder for the first time. I couldn't get it to sound right, and Miss Eggleston told Jack to help me. We started talking and discovered we shared the same birthday. "We must be related," I exclaimed. I continue to annoy him with that phrase to this day. Another early memory I have is telling Ethan that video games will melt your brain. Thanks, Dad. Anyway, I went to his house and he introduced me to Ultimate Alliance where I could play as Spider-Man. My opinion was immediately changed. Another early memory I have is meeting Mr. Vandershire for the first time. Maybe it was the grin stretched across his face as he walked into the room, or the toe shoes he was wearing, but I had a good feeling that we were going to be great friends. When we moved out of the old school, it was very exciting, but also sad because it would be Miss Eggleston's last year teaching us. Also, my best friend Wick was moving to Hawaii. In 6th grade, Mr. Crawford joined our class. He helped me be more interested in the subjects I was learning. Later that year, our class took a trip to Kachenak Bay. When we finally got there, everyone was playing in the water. We ran out to a little island close to the shore, and when we got there, everyone was too cold to run back. "It's easy if you run," I yelled, and then proceeded to run, trip, and get completely drenched in icy cold water. I got out of the water as quickly as I could and looked up to see Ty's dad laughing hysterically and taking pictures. A much more recent memory I have is the 8th grade trip. I'm not at all exaggerating when I say it was probably the greatest experience of my life. Never before have I felt so happy to be part of this class. These past 7 years have been the best years of my life, and I'd like to thank my family, teachers, and friends for helping me every step of the way. Thank you.
We got our special handshake we made up in like 4th grade.
Hi, I'm Sadie Lyon, and on behalf of the class of 2016, I'd first like to remember Mr. A, one of our kindergarten teachers who made our experience wonderful. And of course my parents, Craig and Cheryl Lyon, for being loving, supporting me, and all that you do for Cooper and me. Thank you, Cooper, for being the most crazy brother you could ever be. Today, in the past few days, I felt like I'm in a dream state. And it's crazy to acknowledge that I've been at Winterberry for 9 years. I remember the bright red doors leading to our small but brightly displayed classroom. When we moved to our new school in 5th grade, it was far away. And I immediately missed our old school, located by the railroad downtown. But as the years quickly passed, I realize we can make any place our home. I believe this school expresses Winterberry even more. I will always be thankful for my school for the appropriate amount of pushing me to try my hardest. Another thing I would like to share is something I noticed from our 8th grade trip. To me, doing something you're scared of makes it easier every time. Opening up about my feelings on the trip was hard. High ropes courses is probably the most frightening thing I've ever done. What I'm trying to say as a whole is, California changed me and my classmates for the better by getting us out of our comfort zones. My classmates I will never forget. Sometimes when our class is together, accomplishing something in moments, it feels like old friends from our class are right there next to me. To finish, I would like to share these words by Helen Keller. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tyler Lyon. I don't have a speech, but I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done, and on the behalf of my class, I'd like to thank Miss Robichaux for everything she's ever taught us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sela Catherine Judge. This has been a journey for 9 years, and there are a lot of people to thank, but this is not a thank you speech. So, we'd first like to thank the Morses for Aaron's excellent photography skills and Dawn's kindness. And I'd like to thank my parents and my family. I love you and you're amazing. And to Kelly and Fred Kilheffer, because they pretty much paid for my whole 8th grade trip. I babysat for them, but you guys are awesome and you have wonderful children. So I'm going to be reading a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called When Death Comes, and I'm not trying to be morbid. When death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut, when death comes like the measles pox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door, full of curiosity, wondering what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore, I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and I look upon time as no more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility, and I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending, as all music does, towards silence. In each body, a line of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom, taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Like in this poem, I would like to step through this threshold of leaving Winterberry with wonder and curiosity. I don't want to have ended up just visiting this world. And with your help, I won't. I will be forever grateful for Winterberry teaching me not to let the world pass me by, but to live in it with beauty and bravery in my heart. Not just Winterberry, but these amazing classmates of mine. I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. You are my family, my friends, and unforgettable.
My name is Skylin Angel. I just want to come out and say, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to every single teacher, friend, classmate, anyone that's ever helped me when I needed it, anyone that supported me when I needed it, and overall everyone. Thank you to my parents especially, mom and dad both included, that helped me with anything school-related or personal problem. I couldn't have made it here without you. I love Winterberry, and I've been here for 9 years, which is the best 9 years of my entire life, which is pretty much all my life. I will always carry it with me wherever I go, and it's been an amazing journey coming all this way, and I'm excited to move on. And on behalf of my class, I would like to thank Mr. Harmon for being a great Russian teacher and starting us out in learning a different language. Thank you.
Before I begin, on behalf of the class, I would like to thank Craig Lyon for his strong leading role as WPG president. All right, now on to the speech. Hello, everyone. My name is Audrey Pepe Phelps. To start, I'd just like to say I can't believe I made it. Truthfully, this is probably the longest journey I will ever experience in my whole school career. And so far, it is definitely the best. I'd like to read you all a short poem my mother gave to me on my 6th birthday. It is written by A.A. Milne, and this is how it goes. When I was 1, I had just begun. When I was 2, I was nearly new. When I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I am 6, and I am as clever. I think I'll be 6 now, forever and ever. Reading this poem, I think of how strongly it relates to my journey here at Winterberry, with the slight exception of kindergarten, 7th and 8th. So basically, it just hasn't covered the beginning and the bittersweet ending. Backtracking to the good old days of kindergarten, when we napped and played all day, and other kids around the country were wasting their precious playtime learning. I remember eating brown rice with soy sauce and playing in the loft. I remember tea and playing in the toy kitchen. All right, that's my place. When I was in grade 1, I had just begun. I had just begun my long walk down a path in which Miss Eggleston led the way. I had just begun my years of embarrassing stories from my mother, starting with the worst one of all, my birth story. And why was it so embarrassing? Well, because I was in grade 1, and I was just beginning my long 8 years with these guys, and I thought it probably isn't the best story to start off our time together. When I was in grade 2, I was nearly new to all my friends, who over all these years have become like family to me. When I was in grade 3, I was hardly me. This being the year Mr. Vandershaw appeared as the best, most enthusiastic music teacher we could ever ask for. When I was in grade 4, I was not much more. I was truly not a lot from before, but just enough to open another door. When I was in grade 5, I was just alive. I was just alive at the start of new beginnings that brought us all to a new and improved Winterberry that we could call our own. But now I am in grade 6, and I am as clever. I think I'll be a 6th grader forever and ever. Well, clearly that didn't happen because I'm standing right here. But instead, I forged my journey on with a continuum of memories and experiences like no other. 6th grade was the year that I departed from a wonderful foundation with Miss Eggleston and came to a smooth landing with Mr. Crawford, which I can definitely say we have all blossomed just throughout this short time. Well, the poem ends at 6th grade, but my journey doesn't quite stop yet. In 7th grade, we had our fun times, such as the Eagle River Nature Center. But we also had our awkward times, such as, well, the health block. And then, last but not least, 8th grade, the frosting on the cake in terms of fun. This year has been great. The events that took place were all uniquely fun in their own ways. This last week of circus, basically being our last big hurrah, I think just about tired us all out. To wrap up this speech, I would like to tell you all that I, from the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you for in some way contributing to my journey here at Winterberry. For all the lessons each day or shaking my hand every morning. I will miss you all and cannot wait to see what the future holds for me, my fellow classmates, and the School of Winterberry. To conclude, I would just like to read a little poem written by Brian Andreas, aimed specifically to my teachers who have helped me through my time here, and to show that definitely now, this poem speaks loudly through us all. I hope it will be said, we taught them to stand tall and proud, even in the face of history, and the future was made whole for us all, one child at a time.
Thank you.
Hello. I would like to especially thank Sarah Graham for being the class treasurer and holding all the money for the field trips and class trip. Okay. I remember when I first came to Winterberry in 6th grade and walking through the classroom door thinking everyone was going to be a strict class. But once I got to know these guys, I was relieved and happy to meet people that were nice and caring. In 7th grade, I became more funny, happy, and a troublemaker. We did a play and a choir, and I developed more friends. But in 8th grade, that was the introduction of inside jokes. From Lita Haynes saying catfish to telling Tyler, have you ever been to Starbucks? But anyway, it was fun knowing and having fun with you guys. I will miss you when we go to high school.
My name is Adrienne Bidet, and the first thing I want to say is give thanks to Kelly Williams for being our WPG class coordinator, and being really kind to me throughout the years I've known you, and also I would like to thank my dad for supporting me throughout the years, and the next thing is I want to read a poem, and it's called Acquainted with the Night by Robert Frost. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet. When far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye, and further still, at an unearthly height, a luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night.
Hello, my name is Takori Dejuni, and I would like to thank my mother and father for being supportive of me and always being there. And I would like to say sorry to Mr. Dyer if he is here for stomping upstairs and disrupting your class. I know it is very annoying, no matter how many times he's told us to stop. And I was originally at Winterberry when I was younger, but I left and then I came back because I was not doing very good in other schools because I didn't take school seriously until about 6th grade, and Mr. Crawford was very understanding of that. And not to say you weren't, Miss Augustin, we understood that too. I decided to take school seriously because my mom told me I should, because I understand. And that's why I never thought I would be standing up here, ever. I never even dreamed of standing here. But I always will remember Mr. Crawford and Miss Eggleston and this wonderful, awesome class, and my parents for helping me through the years, no matter how
understood why my mom told me to take school seriously. Thank you, Mom.
Okay. My name is Carlita, and I have only been here at Winterberry for three years. I came in 6th grade, and even though it wasn't that long, I still had a lot of fun. I made great friends and have really good teachers, but now that it's time for us to go our separate ways, I decided to draw a picture. And obviously not everybody can have this, so my point of this is that I hope that someday we will meet again and we'll be able to put the picture back together. And I would also like to thank Ms. Silcox for putting our yearbook together. And I'd like to thank my parents for putting up with my attitude and driving me to school every day. Thanks.
My name is Lily Slayton Barker, and on behalf of this class, I would like to thank Coach Carey for inspiring me and pushing me and us to achieve our goals. I would also like to thank my parents and family for all they have done for me in my life. I would like everyone here to know that my class is like my family. I love them all, including my teacher. I've decided that me crying and you watching is probably not the best use of your time. So I have a musical representation of what I am feeling right now in this moment. The first piece expresses my sadness at leaving the wonderful people here. This is an excerpt from Schindler's List by John Williams. The next piece, an excerpt from Concerto No. 1 in A minor by Jean-Baptiste Accolade, shows how sadness can be turned to joy, the joy of keeping the friends I have made, because they will always be in my heart, holding me up. I would appreciate it if you would hold any acknowledgement until the music has turned sadness and tears into joy and triumph for the future.
One more round for the graduates of 2016.
I believe that Miss Eggleston has something to say.
I'm also not very fond of these machines, but I'll do my best. It's been a true pleasure and joy and experience of wonder to know so many of you, and for so long, and some of you more recently. I sort of have to speak to migration at this time of year, being the birder that I am, and I feel like you're on your first real migration out into the city. And I hope you'll migrate back to Winterberry to visit and to keep in touch with one another. But you've also had an impact on the many other students who've come through our class door over the years. There are 25 students who have been with this class for part of the time of this journey. And I just ask you to have a moment to enjoy a memory, if you know these people, of the other students that you've impacted and have impacted our class. Julian, Ayla, Kelly, Isabella, Joseph, Emma, Kyra, Michael, Matthew, Isaiah, Anna, Chloe, Jackson, Iris, Brian, William, Saga, Sydney, Wick, Caleb, Harriet, Tolkien, Mackenzie, Greta, Nicholas, and Aiden. On our 8th grade trip, we had a chance to sort of look to the past and look to the future. And it brought me memories of a poet and painter who's been very important. He was important in my life in high school in the 60s and has been an important poet in my life as a parent. And for you students, I just have a little quote from Kahil Gibran, who was an immigrant to our country in the early 1900s from Lebanon, a contemporary of Rudolf Steiner, and he's been important in my soul life. For you students, perplexity is the beginning of knowledge. The teacher who is indeed wise does not bring you to enter the house of his or her wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. And I have to thank Mr. Crawford because I think he's been a big part of starting you on that journey in your young adulthood. And for you families, parents, grandparents, for you guys too, brothers, sisters, this is a real going forth into the world. Our students undoubtedly are ready for this next adventure. They're ready to start taking more leadership in the decisions they make in their future choices. This is a poem that was put to music by local women that I used to sing with in Sally's Kitchen, so some of you may have heard this song. I wish my voice was such that I could sing it to you today, but I need to just speak it because I have no singing voice. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's yearning for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they're with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls live in a place of tomorrow that we cannot visit, not even in our dreams. You can strive to be like them, but seek not to make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but seek not to make them just like you. Best wishes and congratulations.
I know you did, Miss Mall.
So now we get to graduate
these amazing students. Rather than speeches or words, I've written well, they're words. Monisha Crawford poems are words. The words are organized in poems that I have written for these students. Just a quick story from today. Before I begin, we were going to walk over here, and I said it's time to walk over, and the class left the classroom and started to walk over, and I was still scurrying around looking for my phone or something, and they were just gone. And I caught up with them halfway down the trail because they had decided to wait for me, which is typical of them. But it was symbolic to me, of course. They are ready to fly. I would first like to speak to Jack. And I wish I could face you guys, but then I can't read my poems. So know that I've got your image right here. Jack, you turn the wood over and over in your hands. What will it become? Your knife gleams in the sunlight. You will trim it, turn it, look at the grain, work it again until it is just right. I think I've seen you working on yourself in just this way. How many can say that they will keep working until they get it just right? This is your truth, and I know that each and every day you live it. Jack Anderson. Skylin, break yourself again and again. Oh, we have watched you. Over the stones of your wild bank, let yourself go in the rushing river. Into the rushing waters of the lower river. Deep and deeper run your currents until we cannot see your substrate any longer. Now we see only your waters, rushing and flowing, always quick, flashing in the sun. Let us rest in your cut banks. Let us glide on your dappled surface. Let us dip into your cold clearness and, blind to your depths, trust your waters to quench our thirst. Skylin Angel. Henry. You chip away at the stone that hides your true nature, and each flying crystal, though beautiful, is also one less that you must carry. Deep within lies your true nature, and only through clear vision and bold action can you find it and carve away all that does not serve it. For some time now, the sound of your hammer on the iron chisel has beckoned to see what new form the sculptor brings. That ringing will echo, I feel certain, through the layers of time to come. Henry Banker. Talia, you like your truth, well, true. Uncut, without sugar, without dressing. A good meal of raw truth is a healthy thing. You like your truth to be close to your heart, to speak to your soul, to be your truth. And when you start there,
then it really means something when you say that you love, when you act from your passion. It is from here, where passion meets truth, the real joy comes. Surfaces can be slippery, but the depths hold us. Talia Barnes. Bia. You don't seem to notice the rocks, the log jams, the sinkholes that catch the unaware. You see the swift waters passing through it all to the pool below, and you ride that water down. Then you look back and see the river cresting, falling, rushing, and you remember how you got down those rapids. You tuck that away, remember it for later. But more importantly, perhaps, you show us the way. You point to the water, nod to the rocks, and you shout, "You can make it. I know you can." And together, we run the rapids. Beatrice Broody. Valerie. You are ambidextrous when it comes to creating yourself. With your left hand, you shape your inner world, while with your right, you chisel away the material you find extraneous. This work of creating oneself is tiring. When Michelangelo finished the Pieta, he slept for a month, and that was just marble. Working from the inside out is harder still, and you inspire us all to do this, to be true to who we are and to carve away those parts that keep us from ourselves. Valerie Broody. Should have had him in order. Corey. Like the sea, you ebb and flow, curling around the rocks and piers, carrying with you only the reflection of the sky. But sometimes from the depths, a storm begins to brew. We might not even notice it right away. Maybe some bottles tossed on the beach, maybe a stiff wind in the air, but life goes on. Your storms rage inside, then abate, and sometimes they go unnoticed. I want you to know that the world has room for your storms, as well as for your calm. Decoria DeJourney. Adrian. Seeds you nurture have been planted long ago. How is it that you decide which to water and which to let go? I also wonder, how do you see the shape, the form, the creation before you even touch the paper? I must build as I go. Strange how people so similar are so perfectly different. You are perfectly different from every other one of us, and so are each of us perfectly different from you. I wonder, which seed will you water next? Adrian, good day. Ethan Gonzalez. Ethan, sometimes it happens that the quietest, the most humble among us has the most to say in his own way. Break open the rough, dirt-dappled surface of the geode, and you will find the gleaming crystals within. Those who do not bother to look will never find this gem among the stones. I hope you know that we have bothered to look and have seen the wisdom that lies beneath your humble exterior. Ethan Gonzalez. Need a little break. Where is she? Really should have put you guys in order. Lena. Lena, I once knew a fish. Well, not really knew him. Who really knows the mind of a fish? Who swam into the sky to see what the stars were made of? I'm only joking. But I'm not lying. He really did, and there in the sky he made himself a bed of stars and had a nice long nap. I think he's up there still. Who would come down once he was lying in the stars? He reminds me that not all fish love the sea. Some fish love the stars, just as some people love the sun and others the rain. But today is a catch-up day, and tomorrow may be a mustard day, and all days with you are sunshine days. Lena Ireland. Nick, plan your route, pack what you need, leave what you don't. Your heart is open and free. You notice every detail, every fleck of sunlight on every feather and edges of the leaves. You notice the aches, the pains, the hunger in your belly. You hold out your hand, you spread your arms. You offer your shade to all who need it. And at the end of the day, you eat a hot meal and bask in the light of a good campfire with those whom you love circled round about. Nick Jablonski. Sela. You've broken free of your own wise soul, of boxes and labels and shoulds and oughts. You've washed these shores with love and care, for, as you say, why do something if you're not going to do it well? You speak the truth, and you speak with love. Soak up the sun, soak up the rain. They are part of you, and you of them. Even as you go forward, you go back to your young soul, where your true heart rests. Sela Judge. I was doing fine, and then Sela had to cry. Tyler. Yeah, you. It has always been your pleasure to let others shine, to lend your strong shoulder to those who seem to falter. Like the trunk of our great tree, you guard the watchtower, holding something for us that perhaps we never name, but that is there for all of time. Keep your roots deep, let them drink in the earth, cast your shadow long, and reach for the future. Tyler Lime. Sadie, you carried your friend with you while you climbed up into that ponderosa and stood high above the shadowed forest floor. You held her tight and took a leap of faith far out into the unknown. Flickering light from a fire burning up those things that we wanted to cast away. And I think she was there with you to return the favor. Not everyone can feel as deeply as you, and you cannot always do things as easily as others because you feel so strongly. That is why the world is made of all of us and why we need the world. Sadie Lyon. Eden. I've seen you run the rapids, coming through unscathed. I've seen you smash into the jagged rocks and lay bedraggled and breathless in their stony arms. What matters to you, it seems to me, and I am no judge, but I come to this through love. It is that the plan is your own, that you trust your own golden light that seems to radiate outwards, outwards, outwards. So I say to you, just this one little thing. Avoid the rocks. You want to be where the water flows. Get down below into the next pool, where you can collect your thoughts, soak in the sun's golden light, and laugh, laugh, laugh with those whom you love. Eden Mockett. Ty. At first, and by this I mean maybe months or years, your light can be too bright to stare into, like sunlight off of water. So sometimes we turn aside so as to shade our eyes and see what lies past the glare. And when we do, we see the waves, and even beneath the waves, to the cooler depths, which are beautiful with refracted light in every color of the prism. Ty Morse. Zane. There are times that your words speak for all of us. Harley Clambuckle was awfully funny, but he also spoke the truth. I've never heard a cruel word from your mouth, which of course is connected to your heart, which is connected to the world. You remember looking into a flame in 7th grade, seeing it change and appear to grow brighter and clearer. If you will accept the comparison, this is the way that I will remember you, slowly growing clearer, brighter, and truer, until all that light fills the dark places. Zane Penny. Carlita, you know that I think you ought to share your gifts more freely. You know because I've said so and told you about the artist we have forgotten who drew with charcoal on black felt. The funny thing about oughts and shoulds, though, is that they don't really mean much except to the one saying them. So instead, I share this with you. Deep below the surface of your still blue waters, the light is filtering through in layers, and it has really been a true and good light, rich with life, and for that, I want to thank you. Carlita Perez. I've never been real good with spelling. I got those two mixed up. P comes before R. This is for Audrey. No, no. It can't be. This would be impossible. It's not in here. Oh no. I don't even know where to tell you to look. It's on my computer. It needs printed. I could. I'm really sorry. I'm going to go see if I can find this. Take a little break. Sorry, everyone. Whew. Audrey. Da Vinci saw in the darkening hills a new way to paint. You see in the faces of friends a new way to love. You give your gift day after day. It is simple, it is free, and it is the best of all gifts. Eternal respect for all is a gift both priceless and rare. Know thyself, said the ancient ones on the sunny Greek isles. I find it encouraging that this wisdom has made its way to Anchorage, Alaska, 2016. Thank you, Audrey. Audrey Peppenfelt. Ethan. I don't know very many who can catch sunlight in their hands, shape it into a ball, and toss it to a friend. You feed us compressed sunlight, prismatic colors that you sift as if you can filter light the way the sea filters sand. This is not a skill. You can't learn it in a class. It is the gift you bring us as you walk through the world, catching sunlight and tossing it around, glowing little bits of light that we can't help but catch. Ethan Pickett. Evan, you don't really look like a power lifter, but the truth is that you are, lifting our level of respect for one another to new heights. Your heart is like a bicep, bronzed and round, glowing not with tanning oil, but with the inner light of truth. You know how the light filters down in a birch forest, cool and green like flecks of captured sunlight? This is how you shower us with your own unique light when you flex the muscles of your heart. Evan Silcox. Lily, we watched you that night, the flames flickering around our circled faces, cast off the last of your pride and don a new cloak of courage and joy. How did you do that? I'm not sure I could have, but then again, I can't play the violin or write poetry or laugh uproariously the way that you can either. Your truth rings out, kindled deep inside, and lights a path upon which you step. Your feet are firm, your heart is light, and into the future you go. See you there. Lily Slayton Barker. Taylor. Like the wick beneath the flame, you draw forth the best in us all. You allow those to shine who might be otherwise forever shadowed. Yet your own light shines bright too. It is a sign of strength that you can bring light to your own shadows too. Taylor Stedman. Sebastian. I wonder what you see when you look into the clear waters. Do you see yourself reflected? Do you see the ways in which you have changed? Or do you see the depths beneath, the beauty of the world living under the water, the fish swimming in the sunlight? Or perhaps you see your friends looking up at you, laughing with you, Mackenzie, and your friends who are with you now. Whatever it is that you see, you have created your own being, and that being is stronger, funnier, and better than ever before. The future is yours for the making. Sebastian Sumstead. Jackson. When you fall big, in swooping arcs and epic crashes that leave dents in the earth. And when you rise, you come shooting up out of the depths, shouting out your truth of life. And in between, you mend the threads that make up the tapestry of life. You know that threads can break, that things are not free, but that they must be grown, watered, and tended with love. Jackson Williams. The Winterberry graduates of 2016.
So before we say, let's go eat, there's thanking to do for an incredible human being who I've had the honor to know and argue with and make up with and just love, and that's Mr. Crawford.
I'm the one up here is that I, of course, am not shy. And so, so Mr. Crawford, when we all everybody was discussing what we'd like to give you as a gift, there's no way we can thank you enough for everything you've done, right? So the kids have needle felted some toys for your next year first graders, so you can have them in the classroom. We have silks that have been dyed for you, some birch rounds, a beautiful portrait of the Root children, and then of course I understood from the children that what you really, really wanted was some stuffed sacks. So we have the means provided, because we didn't know what sizes to get you. So there is an additional gift for you to get some stuffed sacks and whatever else.
It's true. It's my favorite piece of gear.
Yeah.
Stuffed sack.
So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Crawford, for everything you've given to the kids in the last couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. It's been a long graduation, and I think we should go party. 4 o'clock. Does someone in the back row have something to say? Oh, we had we had a goodbye song, right? I always forget. They always remember. Thank you so much. This will usher us out, and we'll see you at 4 o'clock at the Peppy Phelps house if you can make it.